Hi there! In the previous lesson, something really bizarre happened. The content of the only widget area we've ever had has suddenly appeared on the shop sidebar. First, I'll try to answer the question that won't go away. Why does this happen? Actually, we got an even more interesting question. If we didn't have any widget area registered in the theme before, why did we have content in here since the beginning? Let's turn back time for a moment. And notice here that we got this content here before, a search box, a list of pages, an archive list, and the last one with categories. Why did we have these items here? The explanation is that by default, WooCommerce tries to call a file named sidebarshop.php in here. But this file doesn't exist in our theme yet. Actually, it doesn't exist anywhere, not even inside the WooCommerce folders. Whenever WordPress is unable to find a sidebar file with a specific name, it loads a kind of fallback file. This file is inside the WP includes theme compact directory, and it's called sidebar.php. It's this file here. Its only function is to serve as a fallback file. This always happens when there is no sidebar file or no widget area registered in the theme. However, when we registered our first sidebar in the last lesson, this scenario kind of changed. In this case, when WordPress found at least one active sidebar, it stopped calling the fallback file here in the shop page and started calling the only sidebar it could find on the system. Interesting, isn't it? It really is. But so what? How do I solve the problem I have now? I don't want this sidebar here everywhere. For example, here on the shop page, I think it would be really cool if we could have some specific WooCommerce widgets. For example, that cool widget that lets you filter the products on the page by their price, or that other widget that shows the product categories. Well, there are many different ways to solve this. Really, many ways. But what I think is the most simple idea is to create a file called sidebar-shop.php. It will be placed in our theme. Nothing simpler than that. Let's see what happens when I create this file. So I'll go ahead and create it. Here inside it, I'm going to type something. And let's see what happens. Hey, look at that. So the text now is showing up here. And that means I can register a new widget area and call it inside this file. Let's do this. We head over to our functions.php. And to speed up the creation of the new area, I'm going to copy all this first area. Pay attention because I have to copy everything up to the semicolon. And now I can change the values for the name, ID, which should be fancy lab sidebar shop, and description. The other information will be left the way it is. Now in the sidebar shop file, I'm gonna duplicate the information I have in sidebar.php, just to speed up the process. Let's update the text here. And we don't need this HTML portion here. It only makes sense in the other files, not here in this one, because here it will cause some conflicts. So we're gonna delete this. Then just change the sidebar ID here. And here too. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's go to the admin dashboard. We reload the page. And here's our second sidebar. Now we can really drag and drop wherever we want in here. Let's do something really cool. Let's drag a widget called Filtered Products by Price. And now let's see what we got. Boy, how cool this is! Awesome! Look what a useful thing. This widget is amazing. It understands what the price range is automatically for all the products in our shop, the lower price and the highest one. Let's see if it can really filter the results. Wonderful! This really is a theme that can help both the shop owner and the visitor, really. Now let's bring up the product categories. The name of the widget is Product Categories. Perfect! Another very useful feature for the website visitor. In the next lesson we continue, we will work with our next widget area. So, until then, happy coding!